Hi, and welcome to Coffee Break, Episode 4. We are your hosts, Annie,
Corey,
and Hannah.
And some updates on the future school. Spring break is the 19th through the 23rd, my birthday. Also, the yearbook staff is wrapping up on finishing the yearbook for this year. And there's going to be a food truck here on the 29th. So, order your yearbooks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at FS Coffee Break and our YouTube channel,
which is Coffee Break, and our Twitter, which is also FS Coffee Break.
Brand new. Go follow our Twitter.
Okay. And our that's the announcements.
Podcast app. Coffee Break.
Okay.
And
DM us with ideas or
sponsorships.
Money.
If you want your company sponsored or something sponsored, send us a DM on either Instagram or Twitter, and we will message back.
So we're going to start off today by talking about some spacey thingies.
Yes.
Spacey thingies. Perfect introduction.
Yeah. I think that we'll probably go on the subject of black holes. Maybe some different universes, other planets that kind of seem potential for life, maybe. Who knows where we'll go with this? Space is pretty big. Jinx. But but yeah, let's get started.
Okay. So we're gonna start with
We'll go black holes.
Okay, black holes.
The never-ending pit. Actually,
Me.
A region of space having a gravitational field so intense that no matter or radiation can escape.
Yep.
Yes.
I believe that we sent we're going to or have sent a robot.
Let's send a human through it. Let's send a human through
It's just straight for the big money.
So basically, I know that we're going to or have sent a robot to a black hole that we know of. And is lit up, right now. And they're going to send it to the edge. Try to get pictures of outside and the inside on the horizon. And try to get it back. But whenever something goes into a black hole, it goes to a bit of a standstill at the horizon. Because basically, the light's being sucked in, right? So, compared to...
Everything's being sucked in.
Yeah, everything's being sucked in. So, nothing can get out. So it just looks like it's still. It's actually gone already, basically. So it'll stay there for a long time, and it just looks like it's not moving. It's really weird.
It'll constantly get slower and slower and slower until it looks like it's not moving, and then once it's actually gone, it just disappears.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how long that would take, though. Do you know?
I don't know either.
Any idea? I know it's a long time, though. Things can stay up to it.
I just think of the spaghetti whenever if a human went through it, the standing theory would be that we would get turned to a giant noodle.
Probably, because you're getting sucked in so hard.
Because our legs would be getting pulled faster than our head would be, so we'd start getting pulled apart.
Yeah, just around it and then into it.
We'd go straight into the singularity.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what it is, we'd see everything since it's time.
Oh, yeah.
Messes with space-time.
Yeah.
We could end up seeing
the past,
our entire life all at once.
So that could be literal flash before your eyes.
And if you tried to look behind you, you'd still be looking straight into the singularity.
Imagine ooh, that creeps me out. It's just darkness around you. Just all the way around you. And you're there's no light to be seen.
I doubt you'd be able to see.
Yeah, theoretically,
I don't get how they would take a picture of a black hole.
Just the horizon. Basically.
Yeah.
So they would send it up to it and see how far, or how close do we get, take pictures and stuff like that for documentation, and then bring it back, I believe.
Because the thing is, if it's a black hole, and you try to take a picture of, the center, you're not going to see anything.
It's just darkness.
One, because whenever you take a
I would do
picture,
infrared,
it's a mirror image.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that'll work is if you can send light into it, and it would bounce back, but it's not going to work that way. So that means if you put a mirror facing a black hole, you wouldn't be able to see anything.
Vampire.
Yes, black holes are giant vampires.
I like how like
They do
back
suck.
in like the 60s and 60s and 70s, when they didn't know black holes existed, they had like theoretical black holes, like in like sci-fi, and they're all like, haha, this will never happen. And they're like, oh, look at that, a giant supermassive black hole. Oh my god. And then the center of our universe is a black hole. You know that?
Yep, a supermassive black hole.
Do you know that song? Yeah, there's a song that's called Supermassive Black Hole. It's really good. It's by the Muse.
You know what
Anyway.
else is a good song?
Don't even.
No. Anytime Anna's about to come in, just play that song. She starts talking.
Don't. Roseanne.
Oh man. Anyway, back on the subject. That like, the middle of our universe is a black hole, in case anyone did not know that. So basically, we're slowly getting sucked in.
No.
Yeah.
It's the same as if we had the sun. We're not slowly getting sucked into the sun.
We're pulling apart?
Well, we're going so fast, but not fast enough to where we would leave the sun's like gravity.
Yeah.
We're going just fast enough to
Stay out of reach.
stay like you're fast enough just so you stay in orbit. Like we'll be in this orbit until the sun starts expanding.
Yeah.
And
Even
it's the
then,
same.
actually. So I heard that, like, the sun is going to expand little by little, not all at once. Like, it reaches a point when it does expand all at once, like to Mars or, like, the asteroid field, you know? So it doesn't expand till that. But, like, it expands little by little, like that at a time. And then all of a sudden something, like, gets triggered, and it just, like, and eats everything. And then there's a theoretical process that I heard of that we could slingshot Earth, basically, out of orbit of the sun. But that's the thing. You lose your orbit, you lose the sun, you're gonna die from, like, the freezing cold. Like, you could go thermonuclear and everything like that, but...
Yeah, our core is as hot as the surface of the sun.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, you'd be using up the Earth's, like, time. So that's why they were like, might as well just go colonize other planets. But the only other planet we'd be able to colonize is either Venus, which you would die, you know, because the surface is so hot.
No, we wouldn't be able to colonize Venus because it would have already gotten eaten by the sun.
Well, I'm talking about, like, right now. Right now, they're talking about colonization. Like,
but that wouldn't fix the sun destroying everything problem.
You could colonize Mars, but that would not work because it would also get eaten.
If we had, like, a way to get rid of all, like, the gas on one of the gas giants.
I don't understand that. So is there a surface to Jupiter?
Well, there's Jupiter's gas because it has a high, like, hydrogen content.
Yeah.
Like, a bunch of different gases mixed together. And it's, like, still, like, compact enough to where, like, the gravity of the ground is enough to pull it to it. But there is a core and, like, a crust on Jupiter.
Yeah. It's probably really hot. So you wouldn't really want to colonize that.
Which is why we have to get rid of the... Well, we have to get rid of the atmosphere of Jupiter. Or we can go on one of the moons, because one of the moons, they're pretty big.
Yeah. And they're about the size of Earth, honestly.
I'm trying to think of what
fairly
moon it is
large.
that has the ocean. It's the ocean moon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Jupiter or is that Saturn?
It might be Jupiter, because Jupiter has a lot of moons, and I know that a lot of them have frozen nitrogen. Like, frozen nitrogen. So, like, there is possibility of life on there. So, moon...
The moon that has water on it, like, well...
Water under ice?
Yeah, it has water under ice. There's a really high chance that there could be, like, organisms in the water.
It's, Europa.
Europa.
Yeah. Warm ice on the Europa crust spreads open to expose warmer layers beneath the surface. What is the ice moon?
The ice moon.
The ice moon. Jupiter, I believe. It's Jupiter.
Europa. Yeah. Sounds right.
But yeah, it's like a layer of ice and then water. And like it all like unfroze whenever there's a volcanic eruption. Apparently.
There's one moon that's covered with like volcanoes. I think that may be Titan.
I thought Titan was the frozen one.
I'm not sure.
Moon with volcanic eruptions.
It was Io or Triton.
Oh,
I think Io was the one that I was thinking of. Where's Io? Is that Jupiter? I mean, is that? Yeah, that is Jupiter too.
volcanic eruption gave the ancient moon a temporary atmosphere. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's on our moon. Okay. That's weird.
The moon spaceship theory.
Our moon's just gonna fly away one day.
We wouldn't have waves anymore.
Nope. Then there's also the fact if we didn't have a moon, that like we would probably get more light pollution because people would be adding lights and thinking that they couldn't see at night because there's no moon.
Well, you shouldn't be outside in the nighttime.
You should be asleep like every other human.
Should I be asleep at 5?
Let's return back
PM?
to space.
Absolutely.
I'll agree.
Absolutely.
I'm one of those people, I'm always like asleep. When I go home, I take a nap, and then I get up to eat dinner, I shower, and I go back to sleep.
I wish I was like that. Oh, I've actually been like that recently. My mom's like, Hannah, stop it. Like, I can't help it, Mom. I gotta sleep.
Space.
Right. Oh, space. Space.
She just said light pollution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But there's also the fact of, I think, yeah, we were talking about this earlier. It was like the slingshot method or whatever.
Yeah. The real problem with that is, there's this much chance that we could slingshot
Into the sun.
No. There's this much chance that we could even get to a fast enough speed. Like we'd have to be in a certain part of our orbit to start slingshot.
It's the Earth not slingshotting out of the sun's orbit. It's the Earth moving, basically.
How are we gonna move an entire
you would
planet?
go
Like the slingshot is whenever you have
go
the
around
big area.
Yeah.
And you'd have to start accelerating one way so you can slingshot. But we would have to move the Earth, or if the sun is like, if we're in a different part of our orbit, we may go too fast and we get slung way away from the sun. Then we freeze to death. Or we don't sling fast enough and we get shot straight into the sun.
Or we hit another planet, or etc., etc. We all die.
It's very unlikely that we would hit another planet.
Life goes on.
We would hit. It's likely that we would hit a asteroid, but not another planet.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The video that I watched about this was thinking that. So every time a spaceship launches from Earth, it pushes the Earth a little bit, because it's a give and take. Do you understand? So it's like, it's not by much. It's like infinitesimal, but it does it, because opposite reactions, Einstein. Newton, no wait. Yeah, Newton.
Yeah, Newton, not Einstein.
Fudge. Heck. So basically, so with that, they're thinking of like launching something, or like taking an asteroid, I think, and circling it around us or something like that, like having it slingshot, but like a big asteroid basically. And they're thinking of slingshotting it around the Earth so the Earth gets moved by a certain amount. Either that or launching a bunch of stuff off of Earth at one time to move it in a certain direction. It's
That's
just a
how
video
we run
that I
out
watched.
of iron and metal.
Yeah. But like, there was also a thing that I heard about the asteroid is that they were taking it, putting it near Earth to mine it, and then like doing something with, I forget. I don't know. It was mentioned to me like last year.
Near
they were
Earth
thinking
orbit mining.
something like that. I can't remember.
That's pretty cool.
But
Like
it's
mining
also
asteroids. They have large deposits of iron.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like if something goes wrong, Like, where's the asteroid gonna go? Because the asteroid, the size of a,
Unless the asteroid is hurtling towards us, like, because they're not going to, like, just choose an asteroid that's coming towards us. They're going to have to fly out, grab an asteroid, and bring it back. And obviously there's a chance that it could go bad, which is why you bring it to the moon.
That's what, yeah.
And if it hits the moon, the only thing that's going to happen is either the moon gets knocked away.
It's already going away. I mean, like, in some odd years, it's not going to be here anymore. Yeah. I say some odd years, but like hundreds.
Hundreds of thousands?
Obviously. Yeah, like, it's moving away slowly. The moon is, of course, because, you know, the orbit is backing up like that. But sooner or later, we're not going to be able to, like, have it.
But we could technically, like, knock it closer and just stabilize its orbit again.
Isn't that what happened in
in
Life as We Knew It?
Life as We Knew It,
yeah,
an asteroid hit the moon, knocked it really close to the Earth, but still in its orbit. And they thought that either the moon was going to, like, try to return to its orbit, like the scientists were working on a way to get the moon back into its orbit. Because if they didn't, after a certain amount of time, the moon would fall into the Earth's orbit.
Oof, that's scary. Anyway, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wake up. Sorry.
So, moon, black holes.
We could talk about loopholes.
Wormholes?
Wormholes. Earlier, while talking, we called it loopholes on accident.
Isn't it, though? Isn't it a loophole?
Loopholes of space and time.
Yeah.
Sure. So basically a wormhole. You want to explain it? 'Cause I know some about it, but
whenever I heard about it, they explained it like a wormhole was the bending. Let's say that space-time was like a paper. There were two sides.
Oh, yeah.
And you could bend the paper and put a hole through it.
That would be
the wormhole. And you can get from one side of the universe to the other.
Mm-hmm. In less time. Actually, no.
And there's a chance that if you go through it in a certain way that you could get to the other, like you could get to another point. And if you move a wormhole, like, because there's two sides of the wormhole, if you move one side of the wormhole near a supermassive black hole and slow down the wormhole, one part of the wormhole would be in the future because it was slowed down, and the other part would be like in a time like earlier than that.
Yeah. Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like Corey said, that's kind of what I know about wormholes is that like they do two holes on opposite sides of the paper, fold it, stick a pencil through it, and they say that's a wormhole. That's the obvious like how you would describe it. So it's like I've heard a lot of different things about it that like the time remains the same, or that once you get to the other side, all the time that it would have taken for you to get to the other side, just in a normal way, would pass, but you yourself would stay normal. You know, I've heard that theory. I've heard the theory that Corey mentioned of the black hole, the future and the past thing with the black hole. And like, real, like, I don't know how to think of it, because like, time is circular, you know? Like, it's hard to think of being like wormholing it to another place. Because like, then I just start thinking about like, how is it gonna look inside the hole? Like, how is it gonna look once you get there? How are you gonna know? Like, are you gonna be disoriented? Is it gonna mess you up once you go through it? Like,
well, there's no way to tell.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I'm not sure on this. I'm fairly sure wormholes are theoretical.
Yeah.
At this point in time.
I'm pretty sure they're theoretical too.
And also, you wouldn't be able to travel straight through a wormhole. Mm-hmm. You would have to spiral around it.
Mm-hmm. You'd also have to be going at a certain speed to even get in it.
Yeah. Or you would be crushed because the wormhole acts the same way as a black hole.
Mm-hmm. Which is, like, there's also the theory of a black hole is a wormhole, basically. So you can come out of another side. A black hole.
The white hole.
The white hole, yeah, that thing. So if anyone's seen Interstellar, basically what happens in that movie is that like Matthew McConaughey goes into the black hole of his own free will, and he comes out another side, but the other side is like all of his time and his the things that's happened in his life, and he can theoretically manipulate everything that he like touches, basically.
Yeah,
and then
and
like these.
he had to push the books down, causing the thing in the past.
Coming off of black holes, we're gonna talk about wormholes and black holes and
loopholes.
And loopholes. We're gonna talk about the multi-universe theory. So basically, this theory entitles the fact of there being different universes, like so different things happening at the same time. So, my understanding that it's about Corey, want to help me out?
So there's a few different things. There's multi-universe theory as you started in one, and every time somebody makes a choice, it splits off into a different universe.
Oh yeah, that There's also the fact of like psychics, if you believe in that stuff, that like they predicted things happening, and then like
the Mandela Effect.
The Mandela Effect, like that's you going into a different universe while everyone else is in like another universe who believe a different thing. So like, say you remember the Chick-fil-A logo being a certain way forever, and so do like a whole bunch of other people, and then a whole bunch of other people believe it being the same way, and they're being like, oh, you're crazy. And we're like, no, we're not. Like, you're in two separate universes, so that's another theory.
Or you came from another universe and got put into their universe.
Yeah, or that. And then there's also the one that's like through the mirror. Have you heard that one?
The parallel universe?
Yeah, that one.
Everything's exactly opposite.
Yeah. As a kid, I always tried to figure that out and be like, what is the opposite mean? Like, are they mean? Do they live in a big house? Like,
they're nice.
I'm not mean. So, like, I don't know. I always thought of that one as a kid. And like, I feel like the one that's like splitting off into different universes just based on choices alone, it's really crazy, but also kind of interesting to think about. So, like, every time like I decide to not open a door for someone, and that someone like gets really angry and kills a person, it's like kind of my fault. So like a chain effect almost, and so it goes into a different. So like right before that happens, another universe props out, and it doesn't happen, but it happens in the universe previously. So like you could be dead in another universe, but you'd be alive in this one. So and that's why people are like deja vu too.
Whenever I think of deja vu, it's either like they explained it. The psychic twins explained it two different ways. Like, there's the past life version of it, and then there's you're seeing it happen, or it's that you're like going over and over and over again in a loop, and you're just feeling more of the loop.
Like in Sweet Life on Deck, was that what was on?
You could gaze into the future.
Yeah, okay, maybe not.
The loop. What are you talking about?
That happened on Sweet Life on Deck, where they just keep reliving the day.
Oh.
Whenever they cross the line.
Yeah. I remember that
see,
one.
I'm not crazy.
No, you're not.
And the lightning struck.
Wasn't it like Bermuda Triangle?
Struck the.
Stricken.
The Bermuda Triangle one was whenever it was their birthday.
Oh, that was one. That was crazy.
And
they like switched.
They became
people.
No, they became not. They weren't related anymore.
Ooh, Sweet Life on Deck. But I know which one you're talking about.
You're talking about whenever it was the dance, and the dance kept happening over and over and over again.
Yes, and they kept getting sick because they were eating the bad shrimp or something.
Yeah, London did something and tore her dress, and kept on asking Cody to fix it.
Yep. Anyway, so like, where would we go with this? So, like, the repeat of a universe, basically. So, would that consider, like, reincarnation, almost? Like,
well, not really
you die,
reincarnation.
come back to life.
Your life
is just happening over and over again?
Let's say you start in one universe, and once this entire life, your entire lifetime is over, you die. Mm-hmm. Right when you die, you're born again as the same person
in a different universe,
but the same things happen over and over and over again, which is why you have deja vu.
I always thought of, like, because there's some parts of my life I can't remember for the life of me. Like, I can't remember ages 3 to 5, really, but I remember, like, bits and pieces. Anyway, so, like, I always used to think about what would it be like if I suddenly became another person? Would I realize it? Would I see that I'm not the same person as I was? Would I have the same memories? Or, like, would I see that person's memories? Like, it's really... I used to be philosophical as a 5-year-old. Like, I used to think about life a lot.
New show coming out, Philosophical 5-year-old.
Shut up.
Tells the story of Nathaniel Ray.
Oh, God bless. You said his entire name.
And he works here.
True. Anyway, so, like, it's just something to think about, honestly. Just another multi-universe. Just, like, a universe sprouting out of another universe over and over and over again. And, like, for infinity? Is it for infinity?
I would guess, yeah.
Yeah, until, like, end of it, and then that's when they were, like, the Big Bang happens again. Like,
well,
it's weird.
There's a chance that it never ends.
Yeah.
And it's just a constant loop over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. There's also the fact that, like, they said that the Big Bang happened right after another universe ended. Whatever.
There's the Big Bang, and then once the universe, Big Bang, it goes all the way out, and then it zooms back into itself, and the collapse happens, and then it starts a new universe, I guess.
Yes. There are theories of that, too. Of it just being, like, over and over and over again to a never-ending universe.
Yeah.
And it's like, personally, I don't have that many deja vus. Like, at all.
I have a lot.
I don't. I'm a new soul. I figured this out a long time ago. But, like, going to the whole new thing, like, there's over and over life and you have, like, past life and everything like that. There's the thing about birthmarks, how they're, like, the previous spot of you dying or something like that.
Do you not have a birthmark?
I have, like, one, but it's in my side.
I have a bunch of birthmarks. I have a birthmark. How did that work?
Death the bite. Just... I don't know. You have a lot of arteries in your bottom.
Well, it could be, like, a different thing, because my birthmark's on the back of my head, so it's possible I was stabbed in the back of my head. But it's possible that I just died from, like, old age, because whenever you die of old age, something changes with your brain, and that's the reason that you die.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have one there, and I have another one on my leg, but it looks kind of funny. It's just, I don't know.
Is it on your thigh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have an artery on your thigh.
Also, whenever we were talking... Did we ever talk about, did we talk about the simulation theory on one of these?
Yeah,
so
conspiracy.
I have a different thing to it. Oh, it's fine.
Right.
Dang. Now that I think about it, I forgot. But basically, like, our entire life is constantly being simulated over and over and over again, just to see all the, like, choices that we can make.
So...
And it happens over and over and over again.
I don't like that.
You're just one of the Hannahs that have existed. Yeah. There's a chance that in another universe, no Hannah ever existed. So yeah, you don't exist. How does that make you feel?
Feels pretty good.
Relatable.
Yeah. This is a good podcast, I thought.
Yeah, I love space.
Yeah, space is cool.
Space.
Space.
The final frontier.
Well, thanks you guys for listening to our podcast.
Be sure to check out our social media.
Instagram and Twitter, FS Coffee Break.
Check us out on the podcast app.
Links will be down below.
Links will be down below. And if you want to sponsor us, message us on either Twitter or Instagram, and we will get back to you.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
guys.